Wizard101 has a lot of premium items locked behind paywalls. Some of the coolest items in the game are only available if you're willing to pay. But what about the premium items you can get for gold? Believe it or not, there's a lot of them. There's some pretty well hidden, really cool stuff that you can purchase with in-game gold that might surprise you. Today we're going to look at every premium gold purchase I found in the game. I'm not going to include crafting recipes in this video because I'm only trying to focus on the things that you can buy and on the spot get that instant gratification. So, without further ado, here is everything that I found. To start us off, let's look at the items you can get for gold in the Crown Shop. This isn't the only place that we're going to find premium items today, but it's the best place to start. In case you didn't know, the Crown Shop has several sneaky items available for purchase that if you press this gold button right here, you can pay gold instead of crowns for the exact same item. The game doesn't let you sort by items that you can get for gold, and it doesn't go out of its way to let you know that you can do this. In fact, you can go a long time without realizing that this is possible. So let me show you some of the best things you can get. Mounts are probably the most popular Crown Shop item to get with gold. There is a plethora of permanent mounts you can get for gold, ranging from 85k to 100k gold. This is extremely helpful for newer players who need a permanent mount but don't want to spend crowns on one. Mounts are one of the most fun collectibles in this game too, so it's fun to buy all of these even if you already do have a mount. Not to mention you can place them in your house and make them little house guests. The Crown Shop also offers some 7-day temporary mounts in a much cheaper price range. There's some really cool ones here that I didn't even realize you could get, like the Swift Shark. If you're a newer player and you're trying to save up for an expensive permanent mount, I'd recommend bouncing between some of these temporary mounts until you have enough for a permanent, because these will run you about 30k gold instead of 90k gold, and you could easily make 90k gold within a week of playing if you're questing. So just spend the cheaper amount of gold first, quest a little bit more, and then you can more comfortably buy a permanent mount when you're ready. Next up in the Crown Shop is housing. All but 3 of the houses in the Crown Shop can be purchased with gold, with the cheapest house being the Zafarian houseboat for 65,000 gold, and the Red Barn Farm costing the most at 125,000 gold. Despite its expense, the Red Barn Farm is the one I recommend if you're going to get one. I recommend this house because every plant that you grow here grows faster. And with faster growing plants, you can get more gold, and with more gold, you can get more power, and with more power, you can get anything you want. As long as the game lets you buy it for gold. Every single school has its own themed house in the Crown Shop as well, and every single one of these eats so hard. There's not a single schoolhouse that I don't like, and every single one will run you 100k gold, which is not the worst, especially if you're a little bit of a higher level. Sometimes you start questing and you start to get a bit too much gold, and buying one of these houses is always one of the first things I do on my wizards when they start to hit that gold cap. My personal favorite is the Storm House, which is the one I use on my Storm, and even for the backgrounds in my videos. But what good is a house if you can't decorate it? Luckily for us, the Crown Shop has that covered too. There's tons of great looking individual furniture items that you can buy for gold, including these playable instruments. With these, you and your friends can start a Wizard101 band. Enjoy my Wizard101 cover of Through the Fire and the Flames. But if you have ambitions for your house that's more than just a Wizard101 garage band, you can also snag these super handy furniture packs that have sets of furniture that look great with each other. You can use the handy dandy pack inspect feature to see exactly what you're getting from these, and no, it isn't like a usual pack where it's RNG, you're gonna get everything shown here. If you grab a few of these, you can make some really coherent looking decorations. To show you the capabilities of No Crown's house decorating, here's a house that my lovely partner bought and decorated using exclusively gold. Wow. Aren't they talented? This house is so beautiful. I can't believe you made this with gold items only. Any comments on how the process was?
Well, it is mostly gold items, but there are a few crown-only items that I use.
Alright, and wasn't that lovely? Thank you for showing us what using gold and only gold can do. So inspiring. Housing items aren't all you can get from the Crown Shop though, because you can also get some cool gear, like these 2 sets you can use for stitches. The Royal Attire and the Guardian's outfit offer some iconic looks that can make for some amazing stitches. These are some great fashionable options that will give you a very elegant look that's hard to find with bizarre gear sometimes. It's a classic for a reason. There's also one more super handy piece of gear in the Crown Shop that I feel gets overlooked pretty often, and that is the Boots of the Comet. These boots will boost your walk speed by 8%. These are super helpful if you aren't questing but still running around the spiral. They're not ideal to wear while questing because they don't have any stats, but they can be super helpful when doing side activities where you're not fighting anything. Because paired with a mount, you can get up to 48% movement speed bonus, and if you're lucky enough to have a 50% speed mount, you can get up to 58%. That's cool and all, but let me show you something you've probably never seen before. I present to you, negative 32% walk speed. the Slowpoke Sloth plus the Boots of the Comet, for when you want to go slow, but not that slow. I genuinely believe no one has ever used this combo before, because why the hell would you do this? Finally, the last crown shop purchase you can make with gold is transformations.
Don't mess with a wizard101 alpha. We never fizzle.
I spent $5 on that howling emote just for this 5-second joke. Please like and subscribe. These transformations will all run you 500 gold a pop, last for an hour, and transform your wizard's appearance entirely. I feel like this is another thing that people sleep on because these are so fun to use. The Mander transformation is the best one, and no one can convince me otherwise. That's about it for the crown shop purchases, but there's still some other items in the game that you can get for gold that I would consider premium. Take, for example, all the temporary mounts you can get from Prospector Zeke. If you thought the crown shop had some cool temporary mounts, wait until you see what Zeke's got. He offers many cool temporary mounts that only last a day, but who cares? These are awesome if you want to switch it up for a bit. For example, I found out that Zeke has this purple dragon mount in Dragonspire that isn't even in the crown shop. I had no idea this mount even existed, and now it's one of my favorites. Or I also really like all the wing mounts he offers in Marleybone. These wings look good with any fit. Not to mention that the gold cost of these mounts are so low that you'll hardly notice that you bought them. And Zeke has a unique mount shop in almost every world. You could make it a fun little tradition to get a new temporary mount every time you start a world if you wanted to. But if temporary mounts aren't your speed and you're wanting something a little more permanent, you can buy several different permanent magic carpet mounts in Mirage. These do require badges to get, but if you're down to farm some mobs, any of these mounts could be yours for the price of 75,000 gold. Just takes a little commitment. And while we're here at Mirage, get ready because oh boy does Mirage have tons of cool gold items. Each of the vendors that'll sell you the different magic carpets also sells some really fun stuff, like these apartments that you get from badges as well, albeit tedious badges, but still pretty cool. Or maybe your pockets are so heavy with gold that you make Mr. Krabs look poor. In that case, you might as well buy this big gold pile from this guy in the caravan. It costs 425k gold, purely decorational, but damn if it isn't a flex. Oh, and there's also a vendor named Distro Ukdur in Istanbul, and he sells potions. You don't even need badges for this, he just straight up sells damage boosting potions as well as gold boosting potions. The gold boosting potion will increase your gold gain by 5% in the span of 30 minutes, and doesn't apply to sold items, it only applies to enemy drops and quest rewards, which unfortunately does mean this is almost impossible to make a profit from, because you would need to get 200k gold from quests in the span of 30 minutes to simply break even on your potion purchase. The damage potions are 25k gold each, and only apply a flat damage increase of 50 instead of a damage percentage, so these are very situational, but they could help in some scenarios. I tested using a spell with a set base damage on a lost soul before and after consuming one of these potions. My Bunyip's Rage without a potion did 5,636 damage, and with a potion it did 5,736 damage. So while the potion does technically give you more flat damage than what it says after damage is calculated, it's a minuscule amount. In this case, it increased my damage output by 1.77%. It might be helpful to just have a few of these because they do sit in your inventory and you can activate them at any time, so if you're struggling with a boss and you think that extra small percent might help you, just pop a potion, see if that helps. Also, for a mere 25 gold, Distro Ukdur also sells the Drommel Dancer transformation, aka the easiest transformation in existence. I mean, look at that cast animation. We're wrapping it up here, but I do just have a few more tips for you. Every world in the first arc of the game, meaning Wizard City through Dragonspire, has 2 houses that you can purchase themed around their respective worlds. A lot of these houses are slept on, and I wish I saw more people use them. For example, the Marleybonian Metropolitan Manor is super cozy and a top tier house, and I also realized when recording this, that is such a tongue twister. Marleybonian Metropolitan Manor, Marleybonian Metropolitan Manor, Marleybonian. If you want more of a project to work on, Derek Blaze outside of the bazaar sells the Old Town apartment, but it requires a badge that needs you to help 2,000 teams on Team Up, which, let's be real, is not something most people would want to grind for just to get a house. It's more of a passive thing you do, but if you really wanted to, you could go for it. One more thing I think people should know about is that almost every housing vendor in the game will sell you a backpack butler, which is a super handy item that lets you find items throughout all of your inventories, aka your bank, shared bank, and any item vaults you have, which is super helpful if you're a disorganized hoarder like I am. And I know I said I wouldn't mention crafting recipes, but I do feel it's helpful helpful to know that you can purchase the recipes for extra storage vaults from Toshio and Mushu if you don't want to buy them with crowns. Finally, my last suggestion is pet vendors. There are pet vendors all around the spiral offering tons of unique pets, which these pets are practically useless to train. They're not going to serve you much value in battle, but if you put them in your house and use the advanced move feature to scale them up, you can get some really cool looking house guests. You can also buy breadcrumbs in the crown shop for gold to control the pets and decide how they move around in your house and create your own little personal army. Hopefully you found this list helpful and maybe found out about a new thing or two. But before we wrap up for real, I want to provide you with some tips on how to farm for gold if any of this sounds cool but a bit too expensive for you right now. First of all, for lower levels, the best way to make gold is honestly just passively leveling up and questing. Just sell your gear when you level up, sell it to the bazaar. If you quest and you're doing this, you're going to make a lot of gold as you go on, and before you know it, you'll have more gold than you know what to do with. Just also remember that you can sell pet snacks and jewels too, because those can give you a lot of money, and if you're like me, most of those you will never use in your life. My favorite method to farm gold is only if you're a slightly higher level, and I like to just farm the 40 Thieves in Thieves Den. They drop a lot of jewels, a lot of gear that sells for quite a bit. Not to mention that these guys also drop pierce jewels, they can drop couch potatoes, they can just drop a lot of helpful things. So you're getting more than just gold if you farm these guys. I would highly recommend this as the gold farm. And maybe there are better gold farms out there, but this is just what works for me. Well, that's about all I have to say on this topic. If I missed any cool items that you can get with gold, please let me know in the comments because I would like to know. Thank you all for watching. This has been Sab of the Spiral, and I will see you later, Wizard Gators.